Hi, this is Ann from Duct Tape and Denim, and today I am going to be sharing with you what's sold in my antique mall booth in Waxahachie, Texas. The mall is called With Willing Hands. I've been there for, I think, 3 years now. Different booths inside the same store. And I do sell mainly online, but having a booth, I have really enjoyed having a booth just because I enjoy thrifting and going to flea markets, and every now and then I see something bigger that I don't want to ship, so that way I can pick it up and I can put it in my booth instead of shipping it. I have a list here of all the things that sold, so I'm going to start with the one-of-a-kind items that most of them are vintage or antique. There are a few that really were antique. I'm going to go on to list the things I sell multiples of, and I'll explain that to you, and then the things that I sold the most of. Can you guess what I sold the most of this month? I'll give you a hint. It's not an antique. So I did sell several larger items for me, and by large items I mean an oval mirror. I think I have pictures of all these, so I'll pop pictures up of the things. It was a pretty big, heavy mirror, but it sold for $79. I sold a marble top coffee table. That was pretty heavy. That was about the heaviest thing that I want to take upstairs. But the top came off, so that made it a little easier to carry. It was also $79. And the little turquoise table that has been in my booth forever, probably a year and a half, it finally sold. I've moved it around and used it for display, and finally I just marked it down to $25 because I have other tables that I want to get in there, so that finally sold. All right, other one-of-a-kind vintage items. I sold a wood twist candle holder that I thought was really pretty. It sold pretty quick too. A little vintage trinket box that had Violence hand painted on the top. The Roadrunner mugs. I really hope I have a picture of those because I loved those. I really wanted to keep them, but I sold them. The little Avon Swan bottle that I found, and I have talked about Avon bottles several times on reels and how it's so fun to find them while you're out hunting, but they're really, most of them are not worth very much at all. And so I can't remember exactly what I sold that one for. I think it was like $6, so it was not a big sale, but it was a fun one. I sold an old colander, a cake carrier. Now that was a cool thing. I think I got that at Goodwill, and it had a copper top on it. It was really very cute. It had a dent in it too, but it still sold. And then several other assorted small items. Sometimes I have just bought bags of kitchen utensils, and I bought a bag recently that had a bunch of laundry pins in it, so I've been selling them individually. So I have it listed as one-of-a-kind vintage items, but those were really multiples too. Okay, clear glass. How many times over the past year have I told y'all I'm gonna stop buying clear glass because nobody's buying it? And then I went to that antique, I found that thrift store where they were selling stuff for $1, and they had all these different clear glass, the cube. Who makes those? I'll drop a picture in I wasn't sure how they priced things, so I had these in my hand and I was going to go up and ask. There's only one person working. She's really busy, so somebody else said, oh, it's really cheap. They'll be like $1 or something. So I think I am buying some clear glass. Oh, what else I just found? Should I get them? I sold 4 of the cube juice glasses. You know, I feel like since then I've sold some others too, and I can't remember if that was in April or May. So there might be some that's already sold in May too. 2 silverware caddies, and they were just little clear glass, like spoon holders. They were from Princess House made those. A set of glass coasters and a glass dome or a cloche. Milk glass, I sold some milk glass too. I sold a candy dish, a pedestal dish, and a plate. I think the person bought the glass cloche and the plate because they were sitting there together and they sold the same day, so I'm assuming the same person bought those. Here's the silver versus brass contest for this month, and it's pretty close to tied. Silver, I sold a silver spoon stand. At least I think that's what it was. It was that, you might have seen it in one of my reels where I said, what is this thing? And that is what most people came up with, that it was a spoon stand. It was an interesting looking object. I sold a silver bowl, a silver tray, and a set of salt and pepper shakers on a little tray. And then brass, I sold a brass vase, a pair of sconces, and those sold quick. I brought them in and they sold that day. And one candlestick. Now, I have since put some other candlesticks in, so hoping that they sell pretty soon. Okay, next is my list of what I call staples. They're items that I have multiple of, but they're all one of a kind, like books. I only sold 4 books, and I think I told you last month that I usually sell a lot of books, but I haven't been because I didn't have a bookshelf. Well, I got a little bookshelf. So now I am putting books back in the booth, and I sold 4. Spindles. I sold 7 spindles. I am almost out, y'all. I got to go back to the flea market, but now it's going to be hot next time we go to the flea market because it's going to be the end of May. So expect to see a video of us sweating a lot at the flea market when we're out looking for spindles. Baskets. I usually sell several baskets. I sold 2 this month, plus a picnic basket. And bingo cards. Red, white, and blue bingo cards. I usually pull those out this time of year for the patriotic holidays, and I sold 15 of those. I kind of think the same person bought all 15. I'm breaking in here in the middle of my video to ask you if you like content like this. Do you like seeing what sells? Please let me know in the comments or give me a thumbs up so that we'll know and I can make more content like this. And also let me know if you want to know what sells online, because I also sell on eBay, Amazon, and Etsy, and Shopify. If you do like content like this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Now on to the sales. All right, my handmade items that I sold, these are all things that I made myself or Elizabeth helped me make them. 5 bracelets, 9 pair of earrings, 2 necklaces, and I think that both of those necklaces were vintage, actually, vintage necklaces, because I also, if I find old jewelry, I would also will put that in the booth too. I sold 2 keychains, 6 bookmarks, and 3 owl pillows. We were going to save the owl pillows for fall, but we went ahead and put them in the booth because the quilt top that we're using right now has a lot of bright colors, which it looks very springy and summery. So we went ahead and put them in and already sold 3. And sold some online too. So I will also put a link to where you can buy them online if you aren't local. I do still have a few wholesale items. These are things that I bought wholesale when we were selling at Canton and I needed fillers. I sold one thing, a set of clay beads. These were listed online, but I can't remember if they still are or not. Okay, and here we are finally to the end. The things that I sold the most of. They are what I call our impulse buys, little $1 or $2 items that I buy to resell. Usually these are the big sellers. I sold 26 postcards. I'll put a picture up of the postcards, and they just have like vintage pictures on them, and 35 stickers. And y'all, if you have a booth, or if they allow you to sell little items like that, try postcards and stickers and see how they do. Okay, thanks for watching my what sold video. Watch this one next.